first time recording. Everything that could possibly go wrong goes wrong. So I'm just gonna let it go wrong this time so it doesn't have to go wrong again. Okay. Hi! If you know me, you know that I have been obsessed with YouTube literally since I was 13. I watched those British vloggers like it was my job. Me and Trisha Paytas go way back. But recently I have loved watching like video essays and deep dives and all that kind of stuff because it's so easy to like put on while I'm working and just have something going while I'm multitasking. I just love that stuff. But I feel like I can't find videos that are real deep dives on stuff that I really like. And the closest person who makes anything remotely like the topics that I would want to talk about are like Teffy on TikTok and definitely Mila Tequila on YouTube, but she only makes like one video a month. So I was like, you know what? If I can't find it, I will make it. Here we go. Let's talk about Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake. So Britney Jean Spears was born December 2nd, 1981 in Mississippi, but she grew up in Louisiana. So that's where her cute little southern accent comes from. And Justin Randall Timberlake was born January 31st in 1981 in Tennessee. Britney and Justin started in performing arts when they were like literal children, like very young. Britney was in her church choir. Justin was also in his church choir. Britney made her stage debut at 5 years old in her kindergarten graduation. And she is literally the textbook definition of a natural born performer. Her parents say that she was always bouncing off the walls, running around, singing, center of attention. So of course they do what any parent would do, mostly Lynn, her mom, and they enrolled her in gymnastics and singing lessons and dance lessons. But this girl was in Bella Carioli, or however you say it. He doesn't deserve his name properly pronounced. She was at his gymnastics camp. So Britney, even to this day, will say that she found her ambition super young. Like, she has always known that she was a performer. She's always known that she's loved the stage. And she talks about how like blessed she is that she was, you know, found her calling so young. Her mother, Lynn, saw the talent in her, really wanted to encourage it, so she took her to a bunch of auditions, and eventually in December of 1992, Britney was cast in the Mickey Mouse Club alongside co-star Justin Timberlake and Ryan Gosling. But anyway, so when I look back on them in the Mickey Mouse Club, I feel like this is just the start of them like growing up together, bonding, having so many shared experiences. Like, think about your high school, middle school crush, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. You know, you're going through the same experiences together. You find someone that you have stuff in common with and you just bond. And that's really what happened with them. Was not only were they like super young in the public eye, having this really weird shared experience together, but they had a lot to bond over. Britney grew up in a Southern Baptist church and she sang in her church choir as a child. Justin's dad was a Baptist church choir director, so he also sang in his church choir. Both of them grew up in the South, and then since they were cast in the Mickey Mouse Club, they both graduated high school via distance learning, pre-COVID distance learning. They were both on Star Search. And they were even both signed to the same record label. So they were both in the Mickey Mouse Club from 1992 to 1996. And I just want to share this picture of them because they are just the sweetest thing. But also, I really want to share this clip of Britney singing on the Mickey Mouse Club.
When we stand together, it's our finest hour. We can do anything, oh anything. Keep believing.
I think this is like the best representation of what her voice could be. I mean, like, I know she's good now, I know she's been good, but in 1997, after the Mickey Mouse Club, they assigned her to work with a producer, Eric Foster White, and she only worked with him for a couple of months, but he was the one who trained her voice to be what it is today, to kind of get away from that like Broadway deep soulful voice into a more high-pitched poppy that, and now we know that as unmistakably Britney. Like, you knew what I was just doing. You know that's Britney. That's all I need to do. You know that's Britney. That's Eric Foster White. After the Mickey Mouse Club, they do their own thing. Britney becomes Britney and Justin joins NSYNC. From 1998 to 1999, Britney put out the Baby One More Time single and album. He was performing as part of NSYNC, and in 1999, Britney goes on her first real concert tour where she's opening for NSYNC. I feel like this is probably where they really rekindled things, even though they did have like a re-meeting the few years after Mickey Mouse Club. They only spent a few years apart. Then after the tour, 1999 to 2000, they confirm that they are dating.
Are you really dating Britney Spears? That's from Minnesota, Michigan. Yes. Yes, all right.
So Britney was on a talk show, Rich and Famous, where she says that she was doing a radio show and her assistant, Felicia, who's in all the documentaries, Justin knocks on the door as she's doing the radio show, and Felicia's like, "Who are you? Go away," whatever, because he wants to talk to Britney, and Britney basically goes, no, it's Justin, let him in, and she was so excited. And she says this is when he really asked her out the first time. So this is like a little before my time, and I was not allowed to listen to Britney Spears. We'll get into that. Britney was still very much so like America's sweetheart, Baby One More Time, really that pop icon, and Justin was Justin from NSYNC. Like, they were it. They were it. And you have to kind of remember too, this was a time when it wasn't social media. Celebrities didn't have the chance to curate anything about what the public thought or saw of their relationships or their personal life. It was 100% tabloids. It was 100% paparazzi, which I can only imagine what that would be like so young, is having literally no agency about what people hear and say about you. But at this time, the public was obsessed with them. So they're like these mega pop stars. They're in all the tabloids. I feel like looking back at it now with a different view, I look at these pictures and I see Britney is just like, her face is like so sweet and pure, and she like looks at Justin in all these paparazzi pictures and she just looks so in love. Like, it's your first love. Like, she just, and Justin is also there. But ultimately, they are just so cute together. So speaking of the paparazzi, tabloids, all of that, I was going through, like, digging deep into 2000, 2001 articles, and they just absolutely on Britney Spears. Like, it's awful. I'm gonna put this one article down below, and it's, like, terrifying. And this is probably exactly why I was not allowed to listen to Britney Spears, is because when you're looking at her from this way, you literally only see what's in magazines and on TV and interviews, and the rest of it is just whatever they write about you. But even now, when I go back and look at videos and photos of her at the time, I just feel like she has like such a bright spirit. She like radiates. I don't know. She was meant to be a star. She literally was. I feel like she really wasn't given the chance to evolve into whoever she wanted to be or whoever she was supposed to be. And she really just wanted to be herself, which we know she didn't get to be. And especially at this time, ultimately, I feel like she was just a really young girl experiencing her first love, and she just really let her guard down for this boy that everyone does at some point. And I really do think that she genuinely loved Justin. So I'm gonna read this from 2001. So they're interviewing her in her home. In the far corner, sitting atop her television set like a sort of puppy love shrine, is a framed photograph of boyfriend Justin Timberlake in a fur coat and cowboy hat, throwing up a signature NSYNC pose. This is from Britney. Before, I wouldn't really say that much about it because I didn't know where we stood. So where do you guys stand? Spears blushes and, yes, swirls her pinky into a ring of lip gloss. We stand very good, she giggles. I'm very happy. She then uncorks a long, dreamy sigh. Very, very happy. Yeah. I can just imagine her saying it. Ugh. Okay, so they're making music. Justin and Britney are working on songs together. Justin are credited on one of her songs, What It's Like to Be Me. And there's a TRL interview where a fan asks her, oh, what was it like to work with Justin on What It's Like to Be Me? And she says it's super fun, and that song sounds exactly like an NSYNC song. But anyway, so at this time they're getting absolutely hounded by paparazzi. They're doing talk shows and public appearances. They do this charity basketball game. At this game, they have like matching jerseys with their nicknames on it, and they say Pinky and Stinky. And there's like quite a few interviews where Britney explains why it's their nickname. She's like, oh, me and Justin both have these matching pinky rings, and so he calls me Pinky and I call him Stinky because it rhymes. And I looked at so many pictures from this time, and she is always wearing this ring, and she's like, oh, we always wear these matching rings. I cannot find a single picture of him with this ring. If you can find it, send it to me. So they're doing all these appearances, and then they do the 2001 AMAs. Even if you know nothing about pop culture, I can almost guarantee you that if you hear Britney and Justin, this pops into your head. So I am deeply invested in fashion. This is very important to me, so we're about to deep dive. So for a really long time, nobody knew who made the denim outfits. I found a not that old, like kind of recent-ish article from Jezebel tracking down the suit, at least. So I'm mostly quoting that here. It's January 8th, 2001, the AMAs. Britney and NSYNC are both nominated. So Britney and Justin are in New Orleans, and they go to NSYNC's stylist, and they say, we're doing matching denim. And they have like this cute little idea. They're so excited together, like they came up with it together. They're like, oh, we're doing matching denim. And their stylist, Steven Gerstein, I hope I say that right, was like, okay, let's make it happen. So at the time, conversations were happening with Levi's about creating Britney's dress because she knew that she wanted that, but Britney was already working with Kurt and Bart, and Steven had some crossover contacts between Levi's and Kurt and Bart, and they all collaborated. And so Steven says, okay, I have some people in New York, but we're in New Orleans, so let's call them and just say, go buy 50 pairs of vintage Levi's. Go find them. So they're back in LA, and they take everything to Linda Stokes, a celebrity stylist, seamstress. She was running a full operation in LA. And Steven is quoted that Linda was the only seamstress that had a 24-hour operation going on. Before any award show, you would pull up to her house in the middle of the night, and every stylist in LA would be there. And Steven's like, if it wasn't for Linda in the 90s and 2000s, not a single celebrity would have been dressed on a red carpet. So Steven went and took the costume national suit that Justin wore on the Celebrity album cover, and he took it and literally remade it in denim. So I think that the cutest quote from Steven is, it was just two kids wanting to do something cool and being super cute and matching. It was kind of like their prom. They had an idea and we did what they wanted, as opposed to the other way around. In this case, they were like, we want to do this. Which I think is just so sweet. I think a lot of people don't realize that celebrities literally don't dress themselves. Like, they do not get to pick what they wear. They hire a stylist who they think represents and understands their fashion and can dress them well, and they just wear what they tell them to wear. And like, for the most part, they wear their own stuff like during the day, but especially not for red carpets and appearances and stuff like that. So for Britney and Justin to be able to be like, we're gonna do this and you're gonna make it, that is... And like, imagine picking a cute matching outfit with your boyfriend, or like your prom outfit you think is so cool and edgy, and then all of a sudden it's like the most iconic thing to ever happen in fashion, in pop culture, forever, for years. Okay, on January 28th, 2001, they performed together at the Super Bowl. So NSYNC was performing at the Super Bowl. Everybody was super obsessed with watching them perform together. And this Super Bowl concert is crazy. Like, it's honestly one of the best Super Bowl concerts I've ever seen. Literally ever. It's so good. Like, Aerosmith performs, NSYNC performs, they perform together, Britney comes out and does her thing, and then just randomly, like, Mary J. Blige is there, and then Nelly is there. It's crazy. So anyway, NSYNC is performing. This is like weeks, just weeks or like days after the denim thing. Literally all anything is talking about is their performance. Like, they don't even talk about Aerosmith or Mary J. Blige or Nelly randomly appearing. It's just like, and it's not even about, like, poor everybody else in NSYNC. It's literally just Justin and Britney. Okay, so I talked about how every interview Britney did was so fucking annoying. Like, all anyone would talk about is, are you saving yourself for marriage? Are you the way that you are in your songs in real life? You seem to have this fake persona. You're like too sexual for little kids. And they're totally prying into her personal life. And this is just the way that so many interviews with women were at the time. It's so disgusting. But in February 2002, Britney does an interview with Oprah, which is actually like very, very sweet. She's talking about Crossroads. Britney's talking about how it was her choice to basically write Crossroads and decide what her character does. In the movie, her character and like has all these coming of age moments, and Oprah asks why she had her character do that, which I don't like that she asked that, but literally at the time, all of these interviews, articles, everything with Britney are talking to her as if they literally could not wrap their heads around the fact that someone can be sweet and smart and talented and kind and an awesome performer and sexy and sexual, but also modest. Like, they can't wrap their minds around a multifaceted woman. So anyway, so Oprah asks her about her character choice, and Britney kind of talks about it, and she's like, oh no, I'm gonna try to wait until marriage, blah, blah, blah. And Oprah, in like the most polite way possible, is like, okay, I totally support you, but if you choose to change your mind, you can absolutely choose to change your mind, and you can do whatever you want to do. And it was kind of groundbreaking. And she even like assures Britney, she's like, it's also nobody's business. Which everyone's like, no, it's all of our business, because... So of course they talk about Justin, and Britney like gushes over him.
I would love to be with him. I would.
And they play clips of them while they were on the Mickey Mouse Club, and Britney's smile is like a mile wide, and she's watching the screen, and it's just so cute. So the Oprah interview was in February of 2002, and then in March of 2002, they announced their breakup. So everyone felt collectively shook about the breakup. Like, no one was expecting it. Britney was literally just on Oprah talking about how much she loved Justin. So according to The Sun, which we know is not a reliable source, Britney had an affair, and Justin figured it out because of a note she had in her room. But this is like the only hard evidence I've read. Everything else is just rumors, and literally to this day, they have never confirmed the actual reason for their breakup. Justin later on went to say, like, we're not perfect, it was just young love, I don't judge anybody, it was a very intense relationship, blah, blah, blah. And he's saying all of this in an interview with, I can't remember her name, but he's saying all this in an interview while he's literally sitting right next to his mom.
We sat down, and I said to her, I said, if there's ever a moment where you ever need me, you can rest assured that I will be there, because I love you as a person, and I will always love you. But I'd also said, look, no matter what we say at this point, people are going to speculate things, and I could really get myself in a horrible position if I was to say something and somebody misinterpret it.
Blah, blah, blah. In 2003, Britney does an interview with Diane Sawyer. And this interview is a steaming hot pile of shit. Oh my god, this interview makes me so mad. Like, I can't even explain how mad this interview makes me. Britney is basically trying to like not talk about the relationship anymore. And you can tell she's uncomfortable, but she just does what people say. Like, she's such a people pleaser. She literally just wants to make everybody happy. During this interview, Diane is absolutely destroying Britney, and she straight up asked Britney if Britney did anything to make the breakup happen.
A place in my heart. He is such a great person.
But you said, I've only slept with one person in my whole life, 2 years into my relationship with Justin. And yet he's left the impression that you weren't faithful, that you betrayed the relationship.
Bitch. Diane asked if Britney did anything to betray the relationship because of Justin's Cry Me a River video. So in this music video, there's literally a Britney doppelganger who, in the music video, cheats on Justin. Justin catches her, and the public basically took this as fact, when nothing has ever been confirmed between either of them. Like, if either of them did anything wrong, and who cares? I also remember reading somewhere that Justin's people called Britney and were like, hey, we're gonna have someone who looks like you in the music video, is that okay? And apparently she kind of knew about it, but didn't fully know until it came out. And then her friends were like, Justin is like, has you in his video. And she's like, what the fuck? So I don't really know. So in 2004, Britney meets K-Fed at a club, and they hit it off and start dating. And that is like the official end of Britney and Justin. Like, they are never getting back together. Years later, Justin did an interview where he was like, I was infatuated with her the first time I saw her. Like, okay, ramen noodle head. The only interaction the two have had in recent years, or basically at all since they broke up, Britney posted an Instagram photo with a NSYNC reference in it, and Justin commented back. Editing Lizzie here. Literally last night Britney posted an Instagram post, and the caption, it's her like changing her outfit a bajillion times, and the caption is, thoughts while making this video. Something looks familiar. The hat? Wait, I look like that girl in the Justin Timberlake video with the hat and Cry Me a River. Oh shit, that's me. I'm Britney Spears. I guess I forget that sometimes. And Justin also made a comment in response to the very first Britney documentary, where he kind of like apologizes and all of that. And on one hand, I feel like he was kind of just a product of society, where he was just a teenage boy in the early 2000s, and of course he's gonna date this mega pop star, and that's great for him. He's also a mega pop star, and it's only mutually beneficial. But whatever, I'm biased. All that to say, free Britney.